and roll with America's premier motorcycle talk show. Open Road Radio is on the air with Gina Woods and other guest hosts. And now, with riding on their minds, here's your hosts of Open Road Radio.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We are jam-packed tonight. We have a really fun show for you. As you can see, we are broadcasting live today from Boulder Choppers. Jared Richards, Full Throttle Law, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Coming and being a guest on our show. Motorcycle Mondays, Open Road Radio. We have been coast to coast for about 27 years. We want to welcome our Las Vegas listeners, K-Shop 1400 AM and 107.1 FM Las Vegas, and KPJX 1500 AM and 92.5 in Chicago. So welcome. And if you are watching us on social media, please give it a like, give it a share, and invite your friends because we have a jam-packed show.
Yeah, it's going to be busy today.
We have Kenny Piefer from Boulder Choppers, a longtime custom bike builder with a beautiful shop here in Las Vegas. He has had many motorcycles featured in magazines, and he is just a fantastic person, and he is a personal friend of ours.
And he works on our bikes.
And he works on our bikes. He absolutely does. And we have also Gina is going to be joining us from the road. She is on her way to Biketoberfest, one of my bucket list things to
I've
do.
never been.
You know, before my 48 state ride, I didn't believe I could ride that far to anything. But now I'm like, I'll go wherever.
Asia, not a problem.
First, well, I am still trying to figure out how to ride to Hawaii. That's going to be a little complicated.
You'll figure it out.
But John Crotts from J&P Cycles will be also joining us and talking about Destination Daytona. So, Jared, how was your weekend? What did you do?
Oh, weekend was great. One of the highlights is we did the Ride for Kids, which was a lot of fun. Now, that is a great foundation. That raises money for the Pediatric Cancer Foundation, and they really are there to help kids who have these horrible brain tumors.
Yeah, it is very sad to see these children. One of the longest members of the Star Kids that has come out was diagnosed when he was very, very, very young, and he's a 3-time survivor. And he was one of the people that actually led the ride right in front of the fire truck.
Because he had won a motorcycle, and now he leads the ride. So it's a great event because what we do is they get a bunch of trikes and Can-Ams, and you have these kids that ride with experienced riders, and they go about 45 miles, and the kids have a blast.
They really do. So one of our sisters had one of the Star Kids on the back of her trike, and I said, "How did he do? Did he enjoy it?" And she said, "I think he fell asleep." I think he fell asleep. But we had about 350 motorcycles. That's up from the prior year, and they raised right at $60,000.
Yeah.
And those you can still donate. You can go to rideforkids.com and you are still able to make a donation if you are compelled to do so, and help us help the families of children.
And it's really hard for these families because in Las Vegas, which is where the fundraiser was for this, there is no pediatric cancer medical provider. And so these kids and their families have to ship out of state. And that's expensive. It takes time away from work. You have to figure out hotels. You have to figure out flights. It's all very expensive. And this stuff most of it's not covered by insurance.
Yeah, it is very, very sad. And we got to hear from 10 of the stars about their experience. And it was really awesome.
It was great.
So, okay, so let's get started. We are going to take just a second. We're going to switch mics so that we can actually get around the motorcycle. This is Jared's
this is my bike.
So you're going to hear some really interesting things about your bike. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking to Kenny and discussing a demonstration on Harley alignment. And he will show you how you can get a better ride. I don't know about you, but sometimes I can't turn Right, like Zoolander. So without further ado,
Let's
we
go
are
take a
going to
look.
change over. Eric, I want to thank you. He's working in the background. He said we could do this. So we're going to see as we change over. And there, oh, flawless. You were flawless, Eric. Thank you. He's the man behind the mirror. So
Okay.
I want to introduce you to Kenny Piefer. I asked Kenny what his favorite kind of pie was today. He said it was a toss-up between vanilla and chocolate. So, Kenny, tell us about what you're doing here, your discovery, and about this alignment tool, please.
All right, with this right here is an alignment machine. This right here is called an equalizer from Rack and Pull. I made my own, but I found Al on Rack and Pull. And the cool thing is people are always having problems when they're riding their motorcycles of handling issues. They're putting on nice suspension, Legends, Olin's, Progressive. They're still missing the boat because the bike is not aligned. We have Jared's bike right here from Full Throttle Law, and I'll demonstrate. We'll go up to just the shock mounts. What I do is I jack the bike up, take the shocks off, let the swing arm sag a little bit, and I walk up and I'll measure the shock like I'm doing right now with this equalizer, and we'll see that we're at 11 3/4. Okay, we'll walk to the other side and measure this side, the left side, and you'll see that this doesn't fit. Okay, so we
Now,
have
to
to
be
go
clear,
up.
I've not done any adjustments to this. This is as the factory gave it to me.
Yes, and they're all, mostly every single one is off. And I was doing this lady Jean's bike, Mean Jean, and I was measuring everything. Someone else built the bike. The thing handled horrible. The alignment was off on the vertical and the horizontal. And I said, I have to make something. So I made a tool, and then I found Rack and Pull, Al over in Sacramento, and he had this already. I didn't know. I spent all kinds of time making one, so I just bought his. We're at 3/16 off on his bike right now. So I'll put this on here. I just fit it on, aligned it, so we're off almost 3/16.
Okay, so help me understand what exactly from the positioning of the bike, what does 3/16 do? Is it leaning in one direction or another? What's happening?
Okay, so it's actually this 2020 Street Glide is leaning to the right. The horizontal, because the motor and the transmission and the swing arm are all one. And it's leaning to the right. A lot of the twin cams are leaning to the left. This one happens to be leaning to the right. We've been noticing that. And how you correct that problem is you'll see this link right here. It doesn't adjust. It's just a stabilizer,
Okay,
right?
can you help us understand where does
I'm gonna-
that go?
I'm going to show you right now. This goes up front right here onto the top motor mount, and you can't adjust it like the older bikes. The older bikes would be in the middle of the motor here, and they'll have one down here for the horizontal. The top one is for the vertical. The bottom one was for the horizontal. These models don't have it, but this does not come. You can't adjust it. It comes just like this. So you just want to throw that thing away. And what you want to buy yourself is one of these. And we sell them here, or you could get them from Rack and Pull Industries, and it's called the Missing Link. And then we install this up here, and we're able to adjust the motor, the vertical on the motor. And a lot of people think, oh man, well, I got all this suspension, I put a True Track on, I did all this. So when you put a True Track on a motorcycle, you're locking the problem down. You're making it more rigid. And I have a great example of that. One of my brothers, Russ, in my motorcycle club, Soldiers for Jesus, did one, almost killed himself in a turn because the thing was so far off. I've done tons of these now, and every single person that comes back goes, wow, what a difference. My bike handles perfect going in a left-hand turn or a right-hand turn. When you're pushing on the handlebars, like if you know how to ride, you're going in a turn, you're going in a right-hand turn, you're supposed to push on the right side of the bars. Going to left, push on it, and the thing shouldn't be fighting you. All these Harleys one side or the other fights you all the time.
Yeah, so you did mine a few weeks ago, and we covered that on our video, which is on YouTube, on Full Throttle YouTube page. You're welcome to go and see it with a complete demonstration, because we won't be able to show you everything on this today. But we rode up to Utah, up to St. George 2 weeks ago, and it was the best ride I've ever had. It was clearly night and day, and I think mine was off about
A half inch.
quarter of an inch. Like it was.
Yeah, it was off a half
It was
inch.
significant. So I just couldn't turn right. And everybody said, "Oh, it's because it's your throttle side," and they couldn't
That's all
figure out why it
nonsense.
wasn't aligned properly. And I can tell you, I have no wobble at all now. And I used to be at 88. People say, "Oh, we'll slow down," but if you're in Montana, you're going 85. That's the speed limit. And it's
Oh,
just a
that's awesome.
more enjoyable ride. And the speed snuck up on me because it was so
Yes.
nice. Yeah,
Right.
so beautiful.
So what we're gonna do now is I do FXRs, all FLHs.
Okay.
That's Road Glide, Road King, Street Glides, Ultras, Ultra Limiteds. And so now we're gonna check his horizontal, and you'll see that he's off right here, and we'll film this, and Greg could tell us how far off, because we got this thing dead nuts on the frame. We take this laser on the straight shooter, you'll see it's at 4.5 on both sides. The dot is at 4.5. You see it?
So if you are listening in on one of our Chicago or Las Vegas stations, you are welcome to join us for a recap later, and
But-
you'll be able to see all this firsthand.
And I just lined this up with my tape measure, so I'm gonna go to the bottom where it shows his horizontal. We're almost at 5.5, give or take. Now go look at the other side. That's straight from the factory, and this thing is lined perfect.
What is the other one?
The other one's at
4.5.
4.5 on that
4.5.
side. This side is at 4 3/4.
Yeah,
at
that's
least.
off.
So that's a quarter, and so we could flip this
Okay, and
over.
for the people that can't see this, we have lasers that are pointing to measuring devices that have been attached to the bike to try to see how aligned the bike is.
So if we look at the front, you'll look at the sticks, this is perfectly in the middle of the bike. This side will be, I think it was a little under 11. And this side, it's because of the way this sits in the frame, so we have to minus an inch. And it's a little over, so it's not that bad on the front end.
But on the back end,
On the back end, that is because of the pull, everything, all the torque is going to the left side. So what I'm gonna have to do is inside here, there's bushings that mount the transmission to the frame
okay,
with an axle. I'm gonna have to change those and get the thing straight. And it'll be a phenomenal ride when we're done.
okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I've been doing them every weekend, and if you're here in Las Vegas, we do it by appointment only, because it takes about 3.5 hours. It's $350 plus parts. The link costs $92, so it's almost $450, but it's well worth it. I done mine first, and then I started doing all my buddies with my machine. Then I put this on mine, and it was almost perfect, because give or take, I didn't align mine perfectly because I didn't have time and I didn't have the bushings, and they didn't have them at Harley, so I have about 10 sets on order right now.
Okay.
But the ones I've been doing, just absolutely perfect. And so this will fix, this will show you where you need to be with that missing
The
link.
thing is we spend so much money on things like suspension. Everything that we do with motorcycles, we spend money to have a better ride. And this
Yes,
seems
sir.
like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I start with the outside and work in, and I'm the crystals first, and I made a commitment to myself after seeing what a difference the ride was, that I will start with suspension first, exhaust.
Before you
the
lean out of your
motor.
bike?
Before I put one bit of lipstick and rouge on her, it will be the suspension and the ride, because it was very, very, very different. So we still have some time if you want to.
Well, I'm gonna talk about another piece too.
Okay.
So on Dynas, they're all off. Every single one is off. Every single one I've measured is off. So I have another one from Rack and Pull. These are shims that I could put in your motor mounts, and I can move the motor mounts from side to side because there's not an adjustment on the Dynas on the bottom. You could buy one from aftermarket. Other people have them, but this is an easy way to go. They're really bad in the turns, and they have the worst wobbles. But what I've been noticing is anytime you hop on a brand new bike, like let's say you buy a Japanese bike or a BMW or something, that thing handles in the turns both ways. These do not. Every single bike I've ever got on, and you start ripping through the canyons and carving them, you're kind of doing this a little bit, and you're pushing it because we know how to ride. But why would you have to do that if you could come and get your bike aligned, go ride, know it's safe, and that's why tires are cupping and everything.
So these are it's going to help handle in the curves better.
Way better.
And then you said that, like at higher speeds, some people feel a little bit of wobble come into their bike.
That's going to fix that.
That's going to fix that.
Yeah. Because they're known for wobbles. You know, if you look on videos, you'll see people going in these.
Death wobble.
Yeah, and you'll see a guy come off a bike. He was on a Softail, actually, that guy. But these are horrible, especially 2002. I think it's 06 or 08 when they changed the frame. They were horrible. And everybody was trying to do stuff, and we try to do it with lasers ourselves and do all this, and you never got it perfect. And I've had people try to align their bikes and bring them in, and then I put this on there, and I'm like, that's stuff you bought from Home Depot, or you put the board, put the lasers on your rotors, and all. You can't get accurate that way. You have to use the straight shooter. It's a fact. And what the good thing about it in Las Vegas is no one's going to be able to buy this within 50 miles of me. So you could call the shops you want, no one's gonna be able to buy it because it's exclusive. You have to be 50 miles from one person that has it.
Okay, so
shop.
Boulder Choppers is the place.
You are the suspension alignment
We're
czar.
yeah.
Now you're the king of alignment.
I don't know if I'm the king. Jesus is the king, I'm not the king.
I get it.
But this is a little helper.
Yeah. So what do you think that Harley thinks of it? It's not going to change. We're going to keep buying Harleys. We love them.
I don't think they care.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, just look at this shock right here. Look at this one first, right? On this side, this adjustable piece of metal with rubber and hydraulic in it. And look at this one. This should be on like a Honda 250. This is the type of suspension they give you. And then if you look at the front end, what's inside the front end, it's 30s technology, 50s technology. There's no technology in their front ends. Why are people, oh, my tires are cupping this and that. Remember, after we do your alignment, keep your air pressure where it's supposed to be. That's a key thing too.
Yeah, air pressure is for sure will affect your handling, it affects the wear and tear of your bike. There's only so much contact patch, and when you get flat, you can't roll over. There's no way to do it. I had a nail in my tire on my long trip, and I was losing between 6 and 7 pounds of air every day.
How many thousand miles did you go on that?
Just under 9,000. Just under 9,000 miles. Because I think I picked up, probably 8,000. I think I picked it up somewhere after like day 1. So there was
Can I add one more thing, not to interrupt you,
go
but
ahead, you're good.
on a car that has a 50 series tire, you have about as big as my palm touching the ground at all times at about 80 miles an hour. So you look at our tire, our back tires are 180s, could be a 16 or an 18. So when you're at about 75, 80 miles an hour, your tire is growing. You probably got a sliver of a 1 inch, 1.5 inch top sliver, right? Touching the ground. And when you go into a turn, you get more coverage on the tire. And people don't know that. So that's why you want to have your back line, because you want to have your front end matching your back rim and tire so it handles perfect. And a lot of people, if you don't care about handling, don't do it.
Hey, if
Put
you're
all that
just-
stuff on it.
If
If
you're
you're just a
just going
novelist.
around town, you know, but you're probably not riding as often, so it's probably even more critical because you don't have the experience, and inexperience is one of the big killers of motorcycle riders. And
You'll be a better rider if you get it aligned.
yeah,
That's a fact.
and you
'Cause-
could go faster, and you could ride with the Soldiers for Jesus, because
or anybody else you
they're
want.
the best out there.
You know,
So
and,
you bought a new motorcycle.
I did.
Have you had a chance to put it up and
No,
check it
it's,
out?
you can't align a soft tail.
Oh,
Cause
okay.
it's mounted to the frame, the motor and transmission is everything's mounted to the frame. But I just bought it for the hell of it.
That was one of the questions that we got often before we turned the comments off, because Kenny was going crazy in the
Well,
middle of the night in 3 different time zones. So
That's good to know, because I
Yeah.
just bought my wife a Softail, so now we know, can't align them.
now you know.
I could
right?
check and see if the frame's bent, cause we've had them right out of the factory a little
With the
off.
bent frame?
Yes.
Wow.
You know, I'll stick one of these measuring sticks, I'll take the radio out and everything, and it'll come straight up like I have on that bike. And then we could shoot this laser right down the middle of it, and it'll tell me, see the dot on the radio there?
Yeah.
It'll tell me exactly how far it's off. And so I've had them off, you know, shipping, welding, you know, jigs are gonna get off when they're building stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I said, hey, I gotta build my frame machine first, and then I'll fix your bike.
So when you build a bike, your own personal bike, because you have a lot of bikes in here, and I know you like to build them, what is the first thing you do when you build your bike? Motor?
Well, I mean, it just depends on what kind of bike I'm building. Like if I'm building a high performance bagger, I'm gonna do the motor, do all that, make sure the primary's solid, it's bulletproof. You know, there's super good, Wazoo parts out there from, Dark Horse for your primary. You know, we have a tensioner in there. I build all that first, build the motor, and then do the rest and make sure everything's straight and put the stuff on that we want.
Good. So, small shops are feeling pressure legislation-wise, and I know that one of your brothers was recently awarded a trailblazing award in the Hall of Fame, Russ.
Russell Racky.
Yeah, congratulations, and tell him we said thank you, keep the fight up. But you should also join MSF, and that way you can also, or the Motorcycle Riders Foundation, I'm sorry, and that way you can also see what's going on with
MRF.
legislation.
Yeah, because they don't want us to ride motorcycles with motors, with combustional motors no more. They want us to go all green, which is nonsense. We're not going green,
Yeah.
okay? I don't smoke
Our
weed,
kids
so we're
might-
not going
Our
green.
kids might have to eventually.
No, they're not going green either, because it's never gonna work.
Well,
Okay.
anyway, thank you so much. We appreciate you. If you have any questions, you can send us a message. We'll get those over to
Or you can
Kenny.
call 702
Perfect.
558-2242, and we'll answer all your questions.
I love
And we'll
it.
fix your bike
And
in
he's
a
gonna
line.
say, hello?
No, Bernie answers the phone
Okay,
now.
good. All right, we appreciate you. We're gonna go to a commercial break now, pay a few bills, and then when we come back, we will have Gina Woods, the broadcast guru of the world, join us with JP Cycles. We'll be at the house. We'll see you soon.
Just a few days till race day. I want to thank one of our new sponsors, Disparti Law Group, for joining us at Sons of Speed. It's great to have American companies support vintage American motorcycle racing. Thank you to Disparti Law Group for coming on board with Sons of Speed.
Motorcycle accident? Call Larry. Larry Disparti and the team at the Disparti Law Group know how to win motorcycle accident cases. Proudly serving bikers across Illinois and Wisconsin, Larry knows the law and he knows how to win. Insurance questions? Call Larry for a free policy review. And now Larry is giving away an incredible custom bike. Enter for a chance to win at the Brower House Tire Swarm Car and Bike Show every Thursday night. There's a reason why Disparti Law Group has been named one of the most influential law firms in the U.S. and has won more than $1 billion for their clients. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call Larry Disparti at 312-600-6000 and find out why bikers across Illinois and Wisconsin say Larry wins. Now, let's ride. Patriotic or personalized, Lumiflag adds a hint of illuminated safety showcasing your personality. Fits securely on your half-inch motorcycle luggage rack bar. Get one and change out the flag pullovers for your rally rides. Lumiflag is a new product offered exclusively with Open Road Radio. Order now for just $39.99. Lumiflag is made in the USA, assembled by young adults on the autism spectrum. Lumiflag offers them a chance to develop job and life skills, create professional connections, and foster independence. Go to www.lumiflag.com to order now. Products fix problems, Andrews solves them. With nearly 50 years of passion, precision, and high performance, Andrews Products changes the world of motorsports. Engineered and manufactured in-house, Andrews excels by using aircraft steel, then machining to the closest industry tolerances. If you need powerful cams, gears, and transmissions for your ride that are proudly made in America, use Andrews Products. Contact AndrewsProducts.com or call our tech line Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 847-759-0190.
How can you tell if somebody actually cares? Look at their actions. At Full Throttle Law, we are all about protecting riders. We have sponsored or created over 20 safety-focused events in the past year alone. Track days, riding seminars, emergency response classes, first aid courses, garage nights, and fundraisers for local independent charities. Any law firm can help you get a settlement if you get hurt, but we're already on the road with you, doing everything we can to make sure we all get home safe at the end of the ride. Full Throttle Law. We ride together.
40 years ago, a biker dropped out of community college to follow his motorcycle dream. His name was John Parham, and he named his company J&P Cycles. Today, J&P Cycles is the largest seller of aftermarket parts, accessories, and gear in the world. It's the one-stop shop for the motorcycle enthusiast. Over 600 brands and 100,000 products all in one place. J&P Cycles Gold Club members enjoy free shipping on every order, every day, and 4% cash back on purchases. And nowhere else has certified motorcycle mechanics on call 7 days a week via chat and 800 number. J&P Cycles is a proud supporter of Open Road Radio. Visit us online at our legendary Anamosa, Iowa retail store, our Daytona Beach Superstore, during the Black Hills Motorcycle Rally, and many, many more events. J&P Cycles. Riding, wrenching, racing since 1979.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. If you're just joining us now, K-Shop 1400 AM radio, 107.1 FM, and WPJX 1500 AM, and 92.5 FM in Chicago. So that was a pretty great demonstration.
Yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
From Kenny. You will be able to see more as he finishes up his bike, and then we will do a little follow-up next week so you can know after Jared actually gets out
I'm
on
excited
the
to get on that.
street with it.
Try that out.
Good. So speaking on the streets, we have Gina Woods, Open Road Radio, that is going to be joining us from the road. Hi.
Well, I probably look like I'm definitely on the street, but I'm not. I'm in Starbucks in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
You look so pretty. I don't look like that when I'm traveling.
I got to do a quick makeup job.
Yeah, you look great. So,
That was a great segment. Oh my God, that was great.
it was pretty cool. I was glad that we were able to get Greg from Full Throttle to be able to help us with the audio, and him and Eric did a really great job in the background helping us.
Good job, Full Throttle Law.
Okay,
That
okay,
was
so
awesome.
you want to introduce our next guest?
I do want to interview our next guy. Speaking of great, one of my favorite humans on the face of this earth, Mr. John Crotts from J&P Cycles, who I have the pleasure of getting ready to go see. In fact, I am drinking coffee, and I'm still going to travel more tonight just so I can get there bright and early in the morning.
There he is. Hi, John. Welcome to
Hey
the
guys,
show. We appreciate
John.
you joining us again.
that's okay. I just wish I had some of Gina's energy. I'm sitting here trying to stay awake.
I'm drinking a Starbucks coffee, so I probably won't get to sleep till like 1 in the morning now. I'm really
You're like this every time I see you, Gina. You're always like this. I don't know how you do it.
She is.
So that was a great segment of Dazzlin, and that's Jared from Full Throttle Law, our big sponsor and supporter out in Las Vegas. A great supporter of. I didn't get to see the beginning of the show, but you sure had a great big weekend this past weekend, you guys. So I really appreciate everything you do, Jared.
Well, it is a pleasure and an honor to do it.
And speaking of a great weekend, we're going to have a great week down at Biketoberfest. This is the 31st, John? 31st annual?
I'll take your word for it. It's something like that, yeah.
And you are the GM over there. You're the everything at J&P Cycles in Ormond Beach. They still call it Destination Daytona, do they?
Yeah, we do, because we try to hijack the name Daytona. We're not in Daytona, so we hijack it that way.
Destination.
Yeah.
You got to say destination first.
You got to say destination first, but that's okay. We're where everything's happening anyway, so.
Absolutely. Well, I left Chicago this morning, actually very late this morning, like almost afternoon. And it was just cold and chilly and rainy. And man, I can't wait to get down to sunny Florida, because I looked at the weather. It's going to be nice all week.
Yeah, I've been trying to convince Gina to be bi-coastal and to get a spot out here and have a bike out here so she could ride year round.
Yes, right now is the good riding season.
It is so.
I'm going to do that this year. 2024 is the year. I'm going to have one in Florida. I'm going to have one in Vegas and Chicago. That's all I need.
We'll keep it for you. We got a place to keep it for you.
I know you do. I can't wait. Hey, tell us how you are preparing for Biketoberfest, because you make it seem so easy. You're like calm as a cucumber. You just make it look so easy.
Well, it is easy, Gina. You just hire the right people and keep the right people and trust the right people, and it happens. It's not that hard. I mean, we got a lot of obstacles this year. We got a lot of new computers and new software, the growing pains that everybody deals with. But yeah, I mean, our team is amazing. Our vendors are amazing.
I'll do some life coaching, and you specialize in building teams. I think that people and staff don't leave companies or jobs; they leave supervisors. And so you seem to be able to have a recipe for keeping staff. And the more trained they are over at JP Cycles, the more they're going to be helpful, helping me find what I'm looking for to make my bike go faster, look better, handle better, all those things. And you've been around for a long time at JP Cycles since 1979, I believe. And you guys were the inventor of us being able to get those parts at home that we wanted. It's nice to be able to go and see places like Ormond Beach and the shop there, or Sturgis, but everyone doesn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, John Parham was one of the first real innovators about that whole mail order back then, but aftermarket empire. And John Crotts always talks about his team like that. They're just amazing, and he's an amazing leader.
Well, and one thing I wanted to say, and John Parham does deserve the credit. I'm not going to take any of that away from him. But Gina, I know how you are about women in the industry, the women riders, and how powerful they are. And I want to tell you, John wouldn't be anything without Jill Parham. I mean, that was just a team that was meant to be, to succeed. And we're fortunate to still have Jill in our life, part of our day. You know, I talk to her on a regular basis. You know,
That's
Zach.
one that was the front person, and they didn't even really call her by name for the longest time because we do know it's a male-dominated industry, and she was there to kind of support her husband and talk to everyone to allow him to do what he did at the empire and the family business.
She definitely was. And she lives really close to JP Cycles, up where I stay at when I'm there up in Palm Coast. So I can't wait to see her.
Oh yeah. Well, she's not going to be here for Biketoberfest this year.
Oh, she's probably with the kids down in Texas.
Well, you know, she's still working with the closer of the museum, still working with that. So there's a lot on her plate. That woman just does not stop. When she's not with that museum, she's with those grandbabies.
Yeah, she really is. So what is coming out now? You know, I like to be ahead of the curve as I'm building bikes, and you know what's fun and exciting, what's debuting.
What's the secret sauce?
Well, you know what? You know, for Biketoberfest, we're not famous for launching a lot of great grandioso products. We leave that for Bike Week and for Sturgis. That's where the big unveils are. But I think this year, what we're going to be dealing with more is just educating the consumers. We've seen a big change in what's happening with the EPA, the restrictions put on a lot of the manufacturers when it comes to their exhaust, their tunability. You know, changes Harley's had to make to be compliant. You know, and it sounds real scary, but it's not. You know, we can work with manufacturers. We know how to navigate through these waters. You know, it's not really things that we can just advertise. Number one, it's very specific to your application. So it requires just getting with one of our parts techs, one of our people in our stores or on our call center that are motorcycle mechanically minded. We have the luxury of having close relationships with all the manufacturers, all the you know, I sat there and was looking at your earlier segment with Kenny, and just, you know, I learned from these these builders, because they're right down in the trenches and they're dealing with the manufacturers who are coming up with the solutions for problems that, you know, either Harley's created or the manufacturers have created or the government's created. And so these guys are always working for a way to remedy or improve what's already out there. And some of it may be subtle and some of it's drastic. And, you know, Gina, we've even seen some of these builders who, you know, 5 years ago, nobody knew who they were in the motorcycle industry. Rusty Wallace, you know, these guys now who have become huge and consumed by this industry because it's just the consumer. Nobody's in love with the motorcycle itself. It's the community we fall in love with.
Yeah, absolutely. All the networking.
Yeah, and that goes to the manufacturers, to the consumers. That's across the board. So I think that's what we have to look forward to, is just pulling everybody back together, a meeting of the minds. And it's interesting. We can have a Biketoberfest. We can sit down and talk to these manufacturers. They're always good about saying, hey, what are the problems? You know, because we face a lot of these problems head to head because we deal with so many customers, and they do listen to what we have to say. We say, this is a consistent problem we're dealing with. And by the next event, we'll see solutions already being made to address those problems. So
that's the biggest thing. And, you know, we just had Bob Kay on a couple weeks ago with Fred Harrell. And, you know, they're talking about that new organization that they put together. And they're going to be down in Oktoberfest as well with a group of people and continue that. We're going to speak with them once every 4 or 5 shows and do a wrap around with them and just get updates, because that's really important information for aftermarket, for us riders on highways, on streets, and all around. So it's just good for the industry. And we appreciate so much, John, that you are such a big part of it. And J&P is, you know, just always been there for the motorcyclists. Really has.
Well, we do what we can.
Daytona Beach 2023. It's about to kick off. That's going to be October the 19th through the 22nd. It is on my bucket list. I have not ever gone to Daytona Bike Week.
Oh my God, you still have time. You can fly down. Come on, I got a couple of boots. Jared, send that girl.
Jared.
Come too.
I can't. I wish I
You
could.
can. You can. I saw what you could do in a weekend. You can do it.
Next year, I promise. There's many things I want to do. I want to get out to Milwaukee and spend some time out there with all of the guests we've had over the last.
Well, I got to tell you, Ormand Beach, J&P Cycle is one of my favorite places to be set up. We're going to be out there with the Disparti bike, and we have a free sign up, free giveaway. So make sure you come on out, sign, say hello to us. Then we're going to be at the Sons of Speed Racing. Disparti is helping to fuel sponsorship that as well. So go ahead and get out there with us. Obviously, the Sons of Speed. Sons of Speed is going to be a great time, of course. You know, last year, if you remember, they weren't able to race because of the hurricane. So this year's going to be really special.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great. We love that.
And Lumi Flag is going to be with us down at J&P Cycles. So please stop by J&P Cycles. We're pretty close near the front door, unless John has put me in the alley or something. But otherwise, we're pretty close to the front door.
It doesn't matter where you are. You're going to shine, and you are.
You're the it's like this light is shining on my head.
Absolutely. Well, John, I appreciate you coming out. Tell them where they can find JP Cycles and go through basically the inventor of cataloging for us to buy out there. So tell us a little, where can they go?
Well, we're at 253 Destination Daytona Lane. We were right next door to Daytona Harley Davidson at Destination Daytona. We are also in the mecca of all the buying. Anything you want to buy for your motorcycle, for your rider, whether it's in our store or in our lot or just in walking distance. There's everything you can need in one spot. I mean, from food to the parties, the music, the entertainment, and no, we're not going to put Gina in the alley. Nobody puts baby in the corner. So she's going to be right there. And if you come on our lot, you're going to, we'll be with, Clockworks and KST Customs, Memphis Shades, S&S Cycles.
Favorite. Lips and Hips, my favorite.
we got all the stuff you need and a place to park, free parking. But
it's
we're
like
comfortable shoes.
You don't have to leave.
We're comfortable shoes. You will do a lot of walking. There's a lot to see.
There's a lot to see.
All right, John, you be careful. Check in with us. Let us know when you land safely tonight. Well, I'll see your text in the morning now that you're all amped up on Starbucks.
I got to keep driving now.
All right. John, thank you. And you have a great, successful week.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
A short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about two-wheel happenings here in Las Vegas. We have a ton going on because we are just getting ready to launch bike stuff.
Right.
It's jam-packed, right?
It's a lot of stuff going on.
All right. So we're going to go to a commercial break and we'll see you back in just a few minutes.
40 years ago, a biker dropped out of community college to follow his motorcycle dream. His name was John Parham, and he named his company J&P Cycles. Today, J&P Cycles is the largest seller of aftermarket parts, accessories, and gear in the world. It's the one-stop shop for the motorcycle enthusiast. Over 600 brands and 100,000 products all in one place. J&P Cycles Gold Club members enjoy free shipping on every order every day and 4% cash back on purchases. And nowhere else has certified motorcycle mechanics on call 7 days a week via chat and 800 number. J&P Cycles is a proud supporter of Open Road Radio. Visit us online at our legendary Anamosa, Iowa retail store, our Daytona Beach Superstore, during the Black Hills Motorcycle Rally, and many, many more events. J&P Cycles. Riding, wrenching, racing since 1979.
Just a few days till race day. I want to thank one of our new sponsors, Disparti Law Group, for joining us at Sons of Speed. It's great to have American companies support vintage American motorcycle racing. Thank you, Disparti Law Group, for coming on board with Sons of Speed.
Motorcycle accident? Call Larry. Larry Disparti and the team at the Disparti Law Group know how to win motorcycle accident cases. Proudly serving bikers across Illinois and Wisconsin, Larry knows the law and he knows how to win. Insurance questions? Call Larry for a free policy review. And now Larry is giving away an incredible custom bike. Enter for a chance to win at the Brower House Tire Swarm Car and Bike Show every Thursday night. There's a reason why Disparti Law Group has been named one of the most influential law firms in the U.S. and has won more than $1 billion for their clients. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call Larry Disparti at 312-600-6000 and find out why bikers across Illinois and Wisconsin say Larry wins. Now, let's ride.
Products fix problems, Andrews solves them. With nearly 50 years of passion, precision, and high performance, Andrews Products changes the world of motorsports. Engineered and manufactured in-house, Andrews excels by using aircraft steel, then machining to the closest industry tolerances. If you need powerful cams, gears, and transmissions for your ride that are proudly made in America, use Andrews Products. Contact AndrewsProducts.com or call our tech line Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 847-759-0190.
Patriotic or personalized, Lumiflag adds a hint of illuminated safety showcasing your personality. Fits securely on your half-inch motorcycle luggage rack bar. Get one and change out the flag pullovers for your rally rides. Lumiflag is a new product offered exclusively with Open Road Radio. Order now for just $39.99. Lumiflag is made in the USA, assembled by young adults on the autism spectrum. Lumiflag offers them a chance to develop job and life skills, create professional connections, and foster independence. Go to www.lumiflag.com to order now.
How can you tell if somebody actually cares? Look at their actions. At Full Throttle Law, we are all about protecting riders. We have sponsored or created over 20 safety-focused events in the past year alone. Track days, riding seminars, emergency response classes, first aid courses, garage nights, and fundraisers for local independent charities. Any law firm can help you get a settlement if you get hurt, but we're already on the road with you, doing everything we can to make sure we all get home safe at the end of the ride. Full Throttle Law. We ride together.
Hey, welcome back. We appreciate you joining us. We are going to talk a little bit about what is going on in Las Vegas over the next couple of weeks. It is prime riding season. Jared, any suggestions about what riders can do to be safer?
I've got 3 easy suggestions. Number 1, if you're in city limits, keep it at the speed limit. Problem is, people turning left in front of you are not expecting how fast you might be going. Keep it at the speed limit. Number 2, every left-hand turn possibility, keep your head on a pivot. Make sure that you think everybody at intersection might be out to get you, because, well, they might. And then number 3, and this is the big one, but they're all big ones, but this is a big one. Make sure that you have good underinsured motorist coverage. That is the coverage. That's the type of insurance that is going to protect you when the other guy does not have any insurance or doesn't have enough insurance. And you cannot rely on the other person who's being negligent, who's hurt you anyway. Now you're going to rely on them to make it all better? No, you can't do that. Make sure that you have sufficient underinsured motorist coverage. If you can spring a $250,000, I would have a $250,000.
Yeah, for sure. And we are finding more and more these days that families are having to make decisions. And they're carrying smaller policies,
or they're not carrying any. The number of uninsured motorist wrecks that we've been getting lately it's horrendous.
Yeah.
And so you've got to rely on yourself. Don't rely on the person that It hit you.
Yeah, nobody else is going to look out for you.
Right.
That's for sure. Okay, so we talked about Sons of Speed, and there's new Smyrna Speedway on October the 31st. We have the CVMA Poker Run. That's the combat vets that are awarding the presentation for Wheels for Warriors. One of the ladies in the Bling Divas was a recipient of that bike 2 years ago. And she is what they call the poster child, because she has been riding that bike everywhere. So registration is going to be at Fraternal Order of Eagles, and they will be riding over to Craig Ranch, where they will present the new well-deserving recipient this year's motorcycle.
Okay, then on October the 28th, we have Henderson Harley Davidson's Fall Festival. Come and see haunted sidecars and carnival games, pumpkin painting, and trick or treat for the kiddos. It's going to be great.
Yeah, that's always a fun event.
Now, also we have the Elk Riders Lodge 1682 in Boulder City, Nevada, having their 3rd annual Ride for the Vets Poker Run. The best hand wins cash. Registration starts at 8. It is a great ride.
Yeah,
Just take a look.
that's always a great time. And I love Boulder City. There's so many cool places to go and have breakfast and lunch out there. Sin City Indian is having a blood drive on October the 28th at their location. And they will be offering 20% off a select parts and accessories and 50% off installation when you purchase performance parts. At the blow drive, they're going to be offering a $500 sponsorship to any club or organization that brings in the most blood donors. And you can register to donate blood on Vitalent website. We certainly know that bikers in accidents could use some blood at times.
And that's a real thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Now, you can't control where the blood goes once you give it.
No,
But
you can't say this is only for bikers.
it's only, but it's still a good thing.
Okay.
So on the October the 29th, we have the Las Vegas chapter of Antique Motorcycle Club of America. They're having a meet and greet at Pikey Coffee of Las Vegas at 8 a.m. All bikes are welcome. Stop by and have locally roasted cup of joe and chop it up with antique motos.
Yeah, they provided Pikey donated the coffee for the Ride for Kids last weekend, and it was delicious. And that's a really cute little boutique coffee shop. You should go by there and have a cup of coffee and support a local coffee shop. Marine Riders Las Vegas is hosting their Toys for Tot, their 18th annual Toys for Tots drive and brisket dinner. The best brisket ever over there. They have a 50-50 raffle, as well as they're going to be raffling off some ammo sponsored by Recon Arms. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bring an unwrapped toy and come out and support the Marine Corps Reserves Toys for Tots.
That's on November 4th. And that really is one of the best rides of the year. A lot of fun. Everybody shows up. The brisket is great. Ghost does a great job.
Yeah, they do a wonderful job over there for sure.
So on November 5th, we have the Vegas car and bike swap from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The weather is perfect for the swap meet and just $10 to enter at the West Wind Drive-In on Cary Avenue. There are still vendor spots available, and you can visit them at thecycleswap.com for more information.
So I went to Henderson Harley's customer swap meet on Saturday and drug a bunch of clothes that don't fit me anymore to make room for more, obviously, because I made a ton off of these old clothes, and then I went inside to the retail department and spent about $100 more than what I made at the swap meet.
That is the way of Harley, right?
That's the way it is, for sure. Okay, Mecum is bringing the Road Art Show to Las Vegas Convention Center November the 9th through the 11th. The doors open daily at 8 a.m. And hey, this is a big deal. Rocky Point Queen of the Streets, an all-female bike show south of the border. One of my favorite rallies is the 23rd, presented by Bling Divas MC. You can check in at 3 o'clock on Friday at Margarita Mermaids and come and Earn your crown for having the baddest bike in the streets of Mexico.
And then lastly, the Soldiers for Jesus annual chili cook-off is on November the 18th at Red Rock Harley Davidson. Trophies for the first, second, and third place. I have a few of those. And cash prize for $500.
More second and third places than first places.
Yeah, fine. I have more if you want to bring that up. I have more second and third
I
places
do.
than first
I do
places.
want to bring it up, Jared, because it's going to be a full throttle showdown this year. And thank you also for sponsoring a $500 cash prize for first place. this year.
Absolutely.
So thank you for joining us, Jared. Thank you. Motorcycle Mondays, the fastest hour. We're here every single Monday. We hope you will join us every single Monday on Open Road Radio. And Gina, be careful out there. Penny taking the night off. We hope to get Penny back next weekend. She is super busy doing some things with V-Twin Visionaries. So she is at home. But thank you again for joining us, Jared. Thank you.
My pleasure. It was a lot of fun.
We appreciate everything you do out in the community. Good night, Las Vegas. And we will see you next week right here on Open Road Radio.
Hey, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to America's premier motorcycle talk show, Open Road Radio.
Hey, thanks for coming along. We hope you enjoyed the ride.